Made the call.
Queen,
and Lococo has trips. Heath down to 4 bigs.
Boom. Man, you got to put me in these. Look, do you like that? I even called that he had trip queens. Wasn't sure how much to bet. That was why the fumbling. Let's go.
These are the most humiliating hands the Poker Elite has seen in history. Solver-obsessed crushers getting soul-red on the river, and GTO gods folding their equity away in fear of pure aggression. It was unimaginable. This is not another tournament breakdown, this is the story of how a freestyle rapper outplayed the sharpest minds in poker, walked into the Triton Million with nothing but courage, and walked out with $12 million. A WSOP bracelet, and the entire high roller world on notice. You're going to want to watch this video till the end because the final hand is a twist you won't believe. We kick things off at the 2024 Triton Million Poker Series held in Cyprus, where the buy-in alone could buy you a Bentley and leave room for insurance. 96 entries, a $500,000 entry fee per seat, and a top prize north of $12 million. The final table is a minefield of killer instinct and mathematical precision. Ben Heath, Alex Foxen, Dan Dvoris are all ready to slice through competition like butter. But sitting among them, hoodie on, cap low, is Alejandro Papo MC Lococo, also known as Loco, the Argentinian freestyle battle rapper with no formal poker training. And that's where it gets crazy, because Loco doesn't study solvers, he doesn't memorize ICM charts, he doesn't have a coach whispering ranges in his ear. What he does have is instinct, aggression, and a lifetime of sizing up humans in the pressure cooker of freestyle battles. And somehow it works! Oh, it works! Over the course of the play, Loco builds a stack not through textbook plays, but by feeling out his opponents and trusting his gut. He doesn't just survive the final table, he dominates it. The final opponent standing between him and the title is Ben Heath. On the last hand, Heath shoves with Ace-King, Loco calls with King-Deuce, a deuce hits the flop, the board runs out clean. And it only gets more chaotic from there. Fast forward to day 2, Loco's pace is relentless. While most players take their time in the tank, calculating pot odds, counting blockers, triple-checking their frequencies, Loco is jamming flops, firing turns, and bluffing rivers like his life depends on it. It's rapid fire, it's unpredictable, and it's throwing even the most seasoned crushers off their game. Even the commentators are speechless. This isn't supposed to happen, but it is. The money bubble bursts, and Loco's in the top chip counts. Still no fear, still no solver charts, just pure aggression. His image is wild, but his reads are razor sharp. Against David Einhorn, Loco floats the flop with second pair, raises the turn with nothing but guts, and check jams the river on a 4-liner. Einhorn stun folds top 2, Loco doesn't flinch. By the time the final table begins, he's no longer the underdog. He's the problem. The unpredictable variable that none of the GTO-trained pros can seem to calculate. Every time he opens a pot, players freeze, his chip stack swells. And then comes the hand that changes everything. Ben Heath raises from the button with ace-10 of hearts. Loco, now sitting with a massive chip lead, re-raises from the big blind with 10-8 offsuit. 10-8 offsuit. Heath calls, maybe hoping to trap. The flop comes Queen-9 Jack Rainbow. Loco has the nuts, but here's the kicker, he checks. Heath bets small, Loco just calls. The turn is a brick, Loco checks again, Heath sizes up, suspicious now, Loco calls. The river brings a low heart, flush possible. Loco leads out small, inviting the raise. Heath falls for it.
Made the call.
Queen,
and Lococo has trips. Heath down to 4 bigs.
Boom. Man, you got to put me in these. Look, do you like that? I even called that he had trip queens. Wasn't sure how much to bet. That was why the fumbling. Let's go.
He shoves. Loco snap calls and turns over the straight. Heath's face says it all. He's been trapped by a rapper. A rapper. Fear sets in. Loco now has more chips than the rest of the table combined. Every hand he plays is a threat. Every missed C-bet is punished. Every tanking player gets jammed on. It's strategy by destruction. Daniel Dvoris tries to mount a comeback, picking up pocket kings and finding a dream flop against Loco's ace-jack. The board runs out jack high, no danger in sight. Dvoris slow plays, tries to induce.
So this is obviously part of the good part. He should have some raise folds. Let's see what if DeForest what he decides. Yeah, he's gonna take the chance.
No.
Yeah, he was hoping to get it through the raise fold part of the range, but that's not what happened. Oh,
Set of jacks, and now
Really hard.
Dvoris is all but cooked, running deuces. The only savior. Instead, Lococo makes jacks full, and the short stack is vanquished as the Argentine wrecking ball helps himself.
Loco fires flop, turn, and river. Dvoris snap calls, but Loco turns over runner trips. The crowd erupts, Dvoris is out, Loco barely blinks. The only one left standing between Loco and poker immortality is Ben Heath, the British pro with a reputation for tight balanced play. Heath starts heads-up play with barely 15 big blinds to Loco's 90, and if you thought this would be a slow strategic grind, think again. First hand, Heath opens with King-Jack. Loco calls with 6-4 of diamonds. Flop comes 10-7-3, no connection. Heath c-bets, Loco calls, turn is a 5. Loco now has a gunshot and a plan. Heath checks. Loco overbets.
pre-flop line, so a pair of jacks is really strong.
Heath folds. Loco shows 6-4 with a grin. Crowd goes ballistic. It's the pressure, the unpredictability, the fear, and now it's time for the final hand. Loco opens with Queen-Jack offsuit.
You then have to have a person who every hand is coming in and doing that kind of.
No,
or-
maybe we motorize it, man. You know what I mean? We got budget.
Good luck getting that custom table. Or I guess, yeah, maybe there's can be the one custom
Put on a
table.
little RC car or something like that, you know?
Okay.
Those things can be twitchy, though. All of a sudden, you know, zzz, and it's a little too far, then you got to back it up, and then it gets weird.
Well, here we are, all in, and Ben Heath. It's a pretty big advantage.
Ace King against King Deuce. Lococo finds the deuce. 14.6 in the middle. This is an unbelievable feat that could be punctuated by this hand here if Heath can't find an ace. Can Heath pull a rabbit out of a hat and keep himself in this match? No!
Heath down to 11 bigs, looks down at pocket threes and shoves. Snap call, the board runs out jack high, top pair for Loco, nothing for Heath, and just like that, the freestyle rapper from Argentina has done it. $12 million. A WSOP bracelet, and the respect? No, the fear of the entire high roller scene. That final hand left everyone stunned, but trust me, what came next sent shockwaves through the entire poker world. Alejandro Loco Pap MC has just taken down the Triton Million for $12 million. He didn't need solvers, he didn't need coaching stables, he didn't even need to slow roll, because in the end, he did what the best couldn't. He played pure poker, unorthodox and unbelievably effective. As the final card hit the felt, Ben Heath looked dazed. Not angry, not bitter, he was stunned. He had just spent months preparing for this tournament with advanced ICM sims and range trainers. He had dedicated himself to a world of data and math. But in the end, none of that could save him from a man who's used to battling for respect in the chaotic fire of freestyle rap battles. Loco stood up, calm, no signs of celebration. He gives a quiet nod to the crowd, but then to his rail, mostly a mix of Argentine hip-hop artists and a few stunned Triton regulars who still couldn't believe what they had just witnessed. A man with zero high roller experience had just walked into the most exclusive poker tournament on earth and wiped the floor with the best. And let's talk about that, the best. This was Triton, the $500K buy-in tournament that draws the cream of the crop, players like Jason Kuhn, Dan Smith, Feder Holtz, Makita Bagiakuski. These aren't weekend grinders, these are players who eat, sleep, and breathe GTO, who solve flops in their sleep, and yet none of them could solve him. And that's where the story turns from being a poker win to a cultural reset. Because for years now, poker has trended toward the robotic, solver-based, balance-obsessed, emotionless. It's efficient, yes, but it's also predictable, and what Loco brought to the table was the exact opposite. Chaos. Loco's momentum became impossible to ignore. He was dismantling opponents. Canadian pro Daniel Doveris fell victim first, getting his stack in with a set of jacks on a paired board, only for Loco to river a full house and end his run.
Quite a bit. So this is obviously part of the good part. He should have some raised folds. Let's see what he decides. Yeah, he's gonna take the chance.
No.
Yeah, he was hoping to get it through the raise fold part of the range, but that's not what happened.
So Dvoris with barbecue duck as it stands. Puesto por la parrilla.
Oh,
Set of jacks, and now
Really hard.
Dvoris is all but cooked, running deuces. The only savior. Instead, Lococo makes jacks full, and the short stack is vanquished as the Argentine wrecking ball helps himself to the remains of the Canadian, who found one ladder, but no further rungs. Fourth place finish for just shy of 4 point.
Moments later, Sinan Onlu shoved a Jack-5 suited into Loco's Queen-8 after a button open. The board ran clean for Loco. Just like that, another elite was gone.
So, Onlu finds Jack-5 and decides, now I can wait no longer, as Lococo made the demand from the button to 2 million, the extra 900 slathered, and now media, friends, family, all gather round the rail to see what's in store here. Queen 8-7, King high, still best, 6 outs twice for Sinan. On the turn, he picks up the gut shot, straight draw. Jack,
just one to come.
9-5. That's what it's going to take. And instead, the board pairs with a 7.
The rail started buzzing. Now, a lot of players check behind there hoping for a showdown. But not Loco. He jams and the whole room leans in. With only Ben Heath left, the crowd pressed in. Heath, short stack but dangerous, looked down at Ace-King, the dream spot for a comeback. Loco had King Deuce. Heath can't believe it. He knows Loco is capable of bluffing here, but he also knows he's never seen a line like this. He uses a time extension, then another. Finally, he folds the set. Loco doesn't show, just rakes in the spot. The chips went in and fate took the wheel, a deuce at the flop, and the board blanked out. Just like that, it was over. Without a long grind, without dramatic river, a small card and $12 million. That was the moment, the exact moment when even the pros realized they were in the presence of a new kind of beast. One that didn't play by their rules and still won. Loco didn't jump or scream, his rail. Argentinian friends, musicians, and family celebrated wildly, but the man himself simply nodded, shook hands, and took it in. The freestyle rapper who had made it through the WSOP main event final table once before had now conquered the most exclusive high-stakes tournament on the planet without a coach and without charts. Poker Twitter exploded. Half the community praised him as a genius, the other half dismissed it as a fluke. But here's the thing. Flukes don't last 10 hours at a Triton final table, flukes don't eliminate legends, flukes don't win $12 million. What Loco did was expose a blind spot in the game. He reminded everyone that poker is war. It's psychology, rhythm, flow. It's about putting someone in a spot where their perfect range analysis falls apart and forcing them to feel something they didn't plan for. And for a man who spent years mastering rhythm, reading crowds and battling minds in freestyle arenas, poker was just another stage. There was one last moment that sealed his place in poker lore. As he walked away from the table with the trophy in hand, he turned back toward the pros still lingering near the rail. No one had a reply, because that's what he did. He played his hands, his instincts, and his heart. He owned it.